Hello and welcome to this instructional video on how to use a brand new upgraded section of ezfocus, the My Products Listed section. This area has been available in most markets across the country for quite some time. This is the type of section where the users will use more after the sale has been made. Once you have established a working relationship with a retail or on-premise account, your portfolio has distribution and sales, this area of ezfocus is going to be a great way for you to maintain ongoing visibility and maintenance of your portfolio. Things like purchasing history or frequency, merchandising, notes and reminders, gaps and opportunities, volume forecasting, A&P support forecasting, and the visibility of the account versus the rest of the products. What you'll notice across the screen whenever you're on an account's page is that the new My Products Listed tab will show here. The new My Products Listed area consists of two different clusters of brands. So the user has the ability to add any brand to this account. And keep in mind that if you're in a market where the data for retail and on-premise accounts is added automatically, then this will automatically pre-populate for you. If you're in a channel or a market where the data isn't populated from the jurisdiction, then the user has the ability, just like I've done here, to add a competitive brand or one of your portfolio's brands to the table for your users to be able to keep track of the attributes and goings-on of those products. After you've added a product to the table, like we've just done, you really want to try and figure out what attributes or what characteristics of your business with this account are the most important, okay? So the first thing to keep in mind is there's a new type of drop-down technology that we've not used in other tables before, and that's the concept of parent drop-downs. So each one of these clusters of columns under any one of the headers with one of these little green squares is the main title of these sections of columns that you get to choose from. So if I wanted to, for example, if I'm doing, this is actual volume, so this is a market where we're getting actual volume data from the jurisdiction, which has been pre-populated. But if I don't need to see Q3 and Q4 and I'm just interested in Q1 and Q2, I can do that. Or if I didn't want to see volume at all and I wanted to shut off all four at the same time, I would just turn off the volume. Okay? And as always, you can always manage your templates to have a retail template queued up very quickly, which would allow you to bring up the types of column groups that are very important, things like actual volume, how long the product's been listed in the account, when the last purchase date was, things like that. Or you can very quickly switch over to an on-premise template if it's an on-premise account. So if I were in an on-premise account, for example, I could get a copy of the menu and I could input all of the different products that I see on the menu, and then I could do things like see what share of the account certain suppliers have, or what share of which countries have on their menu. So I can start identifying things like, are there gaps and opportunities on this on-premise menu or in this retail account based on country of origin. One of the other handy things that's very useful about the listing group of columns is the ability for any of our users to very easily indicate when a brand is discontinued in an account. So automatically when a product is first added, you're going to get things like when the date it was listed was, but if you actually simply just unclick this little check mark next to any brand, the system automatically creates a third column of brands, which are brands that are either no longer in this account or have been not listed or discontinued, and things will continue on, and you can always relist them by clicking that and then reissuing the date. So for the markets where this is something that is regular procedures, it's actually quite simple to do up a total. All you would need to do is compare the two column groups for actual volume and A&P support. And if the data is pre-populated, great, you can use it. So for example, this on-premise account, if the data is not pre-populated and you know that the account purchased their quantities per quarter, You would simply enter the values that they purchased in over those quarters, and as long as you have an agreement in place where you understand how much per case the on-premise account gets, the system does the calculations for you and lets you know what your quarterly A&P forecasts are. When you take bin capacity in merchandising retail and you also add in the concept of being able to leave yourself some notes or a photo, it becomes very easy for you as a user to visualize exactly what type of setup or situation you have. So all you would need to do here is do stuff like check marks for the ones that are the situations that you have. And then after you refresh the page and make those inputs, the specialized columns that we've given you give you the ability to filter on just the ones that you have fridge spots on, or just the ones that you have a display of, just by selecting one. So a check mark is 1 and a no check mark is 0. And if you're in a retail account where the concept of a standing deal with the account isn't something that's relevant to your market, again, remember, you can just go and you can turn that particular column in that group off. So it's important to note that there are more merchandising options under the merchandising on-premise banner, but I do encourage you to pair it again with notes and photos. Now, that one of the best parts about all of this is that all this information that you make in the system as you go, it all exports into a summary file for your business to be able to summarize and report back to your partners and investors and suppliers about all of your great executions and achievements across the country with regards to merchandising, with regards to, summarizing some of those forecasts we were talking about, or being able to know what type of volume forecasts we're looking at in the next 6 to 12 months based on the feedback directly from the sales team dealing with the accounts. The ability for the company to be able to summarize very quickly how many speed rail versus back bar merchandising executions a sales team has for certain brand families and suppliers nationally is going to add tremendous business value and save your organization tons and tons of time, which is, again, one of our core values at ezfocus. If you have the need to link a photo, like you have something in this account, for example, like one of my SKUs here, I can click on the picture button and I can load a photo that links to that SKU specifically. There'll be a partner video for this about the application and how a lot of this can be managed in our mobile app. And if you're a salesperson, I do encourage you to check out that video as well. Thanks very much.